All right, so long time no snake video. It's been almost 8 months since I made a snake video, which is pretty crazy. So today what I'm going to do is I want to show you some of my snakes here in my snake room, and I want to tell you a story. A lot of people have been asking, hey, where you been the last 8 months, 12 months? And it's kind of an interesting story. I was making YouTube videos every single day, day after day. And just one day out of the blue, I decided, hey, maybe I'll look for a job, a chemistry job, since I'm a chemist. And, you know, normally I wouldn't even look for a job. You know, I'm kind of a reptile guy. I retired from my day job. I've been doing, you know, breeding and keeping ball pythons, making videos about ball pythons. And just out of the blue, one day I looked for a job, and there was like several jobs that were like mirror images of my resume, and I'm like, these jobs are unbelievable. I have to apply to these jobs. And the first one I applied to, I actually got an interview, and then I got the job. And the problem is the job is an hour-and-a-half drive one way to the job. So I'm on the road like 3 hours every single day. And I actually worked a similar job up in Boulder, Colorado, and it was the same commute. I worked that job for like 8 years, and let me tell you, once you start working and driving that much, there's virtually no time for anything. So the first thing that went when I first started working was my rats. You know, I was breeding rats. I was like, I have no time. I have no time for anything. I have to get rid of something. So first I got rid of all my rats that I was breeding, you know, so I didn't have to do the bedding and all that. Just went completely to frozen rats. And that freed up quite a bit of my time. And then I realized I can't do videos with this schedule. It's just too crazy. At least for now, I have to take a little break. So I took a break on the videos. And then I even realized even with taking a break on the videos, I needed more time in my schedule to free up. So I actually decided not to breed ball pythons last year because it was just too much with my schedule. You know, with my cows and my dogs and my snakes and trying to work a full schedule and driving and everything. So that's pretty much where I've been. Just driving like crazy, working like crazy. I mean, it's a great job. I love my job and everything. But I started looking on YouTube just recently, and I can't believe how many YouTubers that I used to follow stopped posting videos like 8 months ago. It's unbelievable. It's like almost every single YouTuber that I used to follow has stopped posting videos. So I thought, you know, I'm actually gonna post a video here and there on my snake channel. Not sure how often I can do it, how frequently I can do it, but I thought I'd give it a shot. So that's kind of the backstory of where I've been. You know, a lot of people on YouTube, they're like, you know, spreading the rumors that, you know, I died or something. It's like, let me tell you, I didn't die. I'm still here. I'm still doing fine. No health problems at all. Doing great. As a matter of fact, I feel better than I've ever felt, except a little bit tired from the long commute and the long days at work. I feel so good. Maybe I'll start making some videos again here and there, which is pretty cool. And as far as my snakes, I don't know what I'm doing with my snakes. So I have right now I have like 100 snakes in my room, my snake room here. And last year I hatched out about 100 hatchlings. I sold quite a few of my hatchlings, but I kind of stopped in the middle of selling them, and I still have quite a few. I sold some adult females. At first I was like, I'm just going to completely get out of ball pythons. The problem is you think that, yeah, I'm going to completely get out, you know, so I'm free and I don't have to, you know, feed these snakes and take care of them. And then you pick up a snake like Bobby, and it's just kind of, you know, you have an attachment to the snakes, especially, you know, there's no way I could get rid of Bobby. If I was to keep one snake, it would definitely be Bobby, which is my bamboo ball python that I have around my neck here. And he's doing pretty good. He's actually been fasting for a couple months, but look at how big he is. He's pretty big. And the funny thing is, I was on a live stream last night. There's like a whole bunch of people on the live stream, and they're all showing their snakes off, and I started, you know, texting in the chat on the live stream, and they're like, hey, I got bamboo Bobby's baby. There's quite a few bamboos people were showing off, and one of Bobby's babies was actually bigger than Bobby, which is pretty amazing. So it's kind of cool to see, you know, other people working with the bamboo project, which, you know, that's kind of my passion, the bamboo and the bamboo combinations. As a matter of fact, I have a bamboo combo that I want to show you that's really been changing quite a bit. She looks really good. She's doing great. The first thing I want to show you is one of my reticulated pythons that I hatched out as a hatchling. So let me put Bobby away and I'll show you that reticulated python hatchling, which is pretty cool. All right, so take a look at this guy. I actually have this guy for sale. This guy's name is Damascus. This is my very first time hatching out reticulated pythons. This one is a lavender albino, 50% dwarf, champagne dwarf, almost 19% super dwarf. And look at this guy. He is a year and a half old. Look at how small he is for a year and a half. Super tiny. I can't even believe it. He's like a garter snake size, which is pretty incredible. So if you haven't heard, I actually have some bad news about Lucy. If you've seen some of my previous videos with Lucy, which was the female that hatched these out, that actually laid the eggs, she passed away. I couldn't believe it. It was like right after she laid the eggs, I switched her, kind of transitioned her to rabbits. And then one of the rabbits I gave her, it seemed like she was maybe breathing a little hard from one of the rabbits that I gave her. And then she recovered from that. I don't know if it was too big of a rabbit or if she just wasn't used to them or what, but then after that, it was like 2 months after, it seemed like she was doing great. No mouth problems or anything, no breathing problems. And one day I opened up her tub and she just passed away, which is really unfortunate. So these guys are kind of special as far as, you know, I can't make any more of these because I don't have Lucy, and they're kind of one of a kind. You can't get them anymore because I don't have the parents, and the parents are really unique. So, you know, with the different percentages of dwarf and super dwarf, and I bred a purple albino to a white albino to get the lavender albino. I actually have, I think I have 24 of these guys left. And every time I pick one up, they're just so amazing and so curious. And it's just like, I don't want to sell them. It's kind of the weird thing. And they are really awesome. They're really super low maintenance. Yeah, I've just been feeding them once a week. Feeding adult mice, they've been doing great. So I got this one for sale, but I have males and females. And if you breed 2 of these together, you'll actually get white albinos, purple albinos, and lavender albinos. So someday I want to breed a couple of these together and make a little mini baby Lucy, which is pretty awesome. And the problem with Lucy is, you know, when I first got her, I was like power feeding her, like, you know, kind of using her as a garbage disposal and feeding her, like, you know, sometimes I'd feed her every day and she would like plow down the road. She'd like empty out all the old rats in my freezer. Well, I found out that the more you feed a snake, the bigger they get. And this is like kind of the proper size of a dwarf, super dwarf, without the power feeding. So yeah, I'm thinking if I would have properly fed Lucy, there is no way she would have been, you know, an 80-pound snake. Yeah, so I'm hoping to keep these guys really small. They're doing great, fantastic. I really like these guys. So I don't know if I want to list them on MorphMarket or how many I want to keep, but they're pretty awesome. So I haven't quite decided. Right now I'm not breeding, not really selling a lot, just selling just enough to pay for the food, I guess. I'm just basically feeding. I'm a snake feeder now instead of a snake breeder. So just trying to figure out what I'm going to do. How am I going to get the time? You know, if someday, you know, the company gets bought out or, you know, moves to Switzerland, which actually has happened before. You know, some of my companies, they're really successful. This one's really successful. And if something happens, they get bought out, I'll go back to breeding snakes and making videos again. But look at how beautiful that is. Stunning snake. That is absolutely awesome. And kind of the weird thing is when I first hatched these out, I was actually regretting breeding them, because when they first came out of the egg, the first thing they did, as soon as they came out of the egg, they were like snapping at me. These guys were wild right out of the egg, and it took me a lot of handling sessions to get them to where they're like super tame right now. They say you should never put a retic around your neck because it can choke you, but this guy, this guy's like a garter snake. Look at how tiny he is. Super tiny. It's like super tiny. It's seriously like an adult garter snake at 1.5 years, which is pretty awesome. All right, let me show you something else. All right, so it's kind of bad timing on this one because of course she's in shed. This is one of Bobby's offspring. This is a Lemon Blast, which is a pastel pinstripe with the calico and the bamboo. And look at how beautiful she is. So usually she's like, she really has been turning a lot more yellow with age, which you can kind of tell on her head just a little bit right there. But you can tell her eyes kind of glossed over from the shed. So she's like in a deep shed. But she's really an amazing snake. Look at how big she's getting. If I bred her, she'd probably lay eggs for sure. She's a nice, chunky snake. I just don't have time right now, but yeah, if I bred her, I might breed, what would be cool is to breed bamboo back to this, which would be really neat. Then I could get some super bamboos with all the other genes possibly in there, which would be really cool. But that's a really awesome snake. Lemon Blast Calico Bamboo. All right, let me show you another prize jewel I have in my collection, a one of a kind, first of its kind too. All right, so take a look at this. Of course, this one's going in shed too. This is, the last year I was breeding, I hatched out 3 completely scaleless Ball Pythons. And this is one of them. This is a queen pin. So it's a lesser pastel pinstripe, right? Lesser pastel pinstripe. Without the pastel, it's the kingpin. I actually hatched out a kingpin too. I've since sold that one. I also hatched out a normal scaleless. And you can see they don't even have scales on their belly. It's kind of wild. But yeah, this is, as far as I know, it's one of a kind. The sheds, oh, they get stuck in these sheds. It's maddening with these scaleless. And I'm constantly fighting the sheds. I've seen some people like who live in Florida where it's really humid all the time, have really good luck with these, but I live in Colorado and I have a humidifier in here, even at 65% humidity and adding humidity to the tubs. I'd say 4 out of 5 are usually a bad shed, and I'm in here like helping them shed putting. I use the bag balm. I put the bag balm on them, but they eat really good every single time. But that's an awesome snake right there. This is definitely not one I'm going to sell. I'll probably keep Bobby and this one and a couple of retics. I keep adding up the list, and the bamboo one. Yeah, there's a bunch of them I want to keep for sure that I'm definitely not going to sell. This is definitely one of them. All right, so take a look at this beast. Look at this one. This is, if you watch some of my previous videos, you'll know what this is. Looks like a lesser, just a lesser. She's not used to being handled, I guess. I haven't really handled her at all, which is like a wild snake, I guess. Woo, she's going crazy. All right. I want to put her around my neck. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. I don't think she'll bite me. I've never really had one of these snakes try to bite me. But you can see the pattern, kind of a straight line right down here. This is, wow, she's like taking off. She's taking off. This is my lesser triple het. So it's het for pied, het for clown, and het for albino. But she's a female. Look at how big she is. She's been doing great, eating great. Yeah, he's pretty chunky. I produced quite a few of these guys. I sold all of them except this one. I think I produced 3 lesser triple hets. I think I had a male, a female, and 2 females. So I decided just to keep 1 female for my triple het project. Pretty wild looking snake. Pretty awesome. So I actually have some hatchlings from the triple het project. Let me show you some of those hatchlings. Those are pretty cool too. Alright, take a look at this little snapper. That guy looks like he'll snap you. Not really used to being handled that much. This is a beautiful pied. Look at how beautiful he is. This is a female. Getting pretty big. This is from last year. So this is a pied, 66% het clown, 66% het albino. So I think what I'm going to do on these is, I've seen some services where they'll actually take the shed from you can actually send them the shed and they'll figure out if they're het for, I don't know if they'll do het for clown, but I know they'll do het for albino. And you can actually kind of cheat, I guess. So if they actually get to the point where they'll give me, you know, het clown, het albino, het pied, I'll probably, you know, produce the visuals just for 1 gene. And if it is het for the other ones, then I'll hold this back and maybe sell just the straight triple hets, and then I'll get closer and closer to the genes that I want, all 3 genes in 1 snake, which would be pretty cool. So that's one I'm going to hold back until I can get it tested for the shed. But he's getting pretty big. Kind of a picky eater on this guy. Very picky. Seems like all the pieds are always picky. But beautiful looking pied. Beautiful contrast as far as where the patterns are. I love where the patterns are in this guy. Pretty awesome. One of the best pieds I've seen, I'd say. Pretty awesome. Let's see. Alright, here's another one. Take a look at this one. This is another from my triple het project. This is, his name is Yuki. It's actually a female on this one. I'm getting all females. I think I only have 1 triple het male, which is the problem. I sold all the other males. I don't know if my 1 male could breed all these in 1 season. But this one is an albino, 66% het clown, 66% het pied. And this guy's a pretty good eater. You can tell he's been eating a little bit better than the pied. Pretty nice, pretty awesome. I love these albinos. It's like a high contrast albino. Beautiful snake, beautiful snake. That is awesome. The bright red eyes. Yeah, ooh, a little head shy. Alright, so here's a snake that's pretty interesting. This is a bamboo lesser, possible calico, going into shed. Maybe not going into shed. But kind of the interesting thing on this one is it was born with a kinked neck. And it seems to have mostly corrected itself, I'd say, for the most part. Just a tiny, tiny little kink in the neck. You almost can't even see it. I think if I didn't point it out to you, you wouldn't even notice it. You can see it right there. Right there. But the problem with a defect like that is I can't list it on MorphMarket. They won't let me list any defects. Not even like no eyes or anything like that, which is unfortunate. Oh, I got a really cool one that's missing an eye. I'll have to show you that one too. But that one's pretty cool. Bamboo lesser, blue-eyed leucistic. I'd probably sell that one, maybe at a discount if you're interested. I'm not even sure if it's a male or a female. I haven't even probed this one yet. It's just kind of crazy. All right, let's see what else I have here in the collection. All right, so take a look at this one. That's a beauty. All right, so I keep, you know, every time I pull these out and I look at them, I'm like, I don't think I want to sell that one. I don't think I want to sell this one. This is a Super Blast. Super Pastel Pinstripe. I'm pretty sure it's Enchi. 100% Het Desert Ghost. Man, that is a beauty right there. And you add Desert Ghost, if you can get a visual Desert Ghost, you can get some really wild looking snakes. Take a look at that. That's a beauty right there. That's awesome. Yeah. She's a beauty. I'm not even sure. Oh, this one's a male. I have males and I have another one. I think it's a female. Just like this. Yeah. It makes me want to breed snakes again. If I only had the time. Alright, so I thought I'd pull this one out. This is another one going into shed. This is my other. I only have 2 scaleless in the collection here. This is the other one. And you can see it's in the middle of a shed. Oh, I just caught it right in the shed. And look, you kind of have to just like assist them, just kind of peeling it off. It's like a weird kind of a shed on these scaleless. And they kind of get stuck on there if you don't keep the humidity up and you keep on top of the sheds, and they just peel right off real easy. So, but this one I sold just recently, and he's making payments on it, so this one is sold. Once I get the money, I'll have enough money to buy rodents for another month of feeding. But yeah, awesome snake. It's kind of interesting on this one too that it's developed these like little black speckles all over the snake, which is kind of interesting. Definitely in the middle of a deep shed. The other thing I find interesting too is you'll see a lot of this kind of orange. It almost looks like a dirty orange, and that's from the coconut husks. Actually kind of stains their belly a little bit on these scaleless. I tried keeping them on paper towels, but I just can't keep the humidity up enough. Seems like I need the coconut husk, but yeah, I was so lucky to produce these. That was like one of my goals. I'm definitely keeping the other one, the queen pin, which is pretty awesome. All right, I'm getting serious now. Look at this. This is a bamboo lesser female, one of my breeders. Whoo, look at this. One of my best eaters. She is really big. Look at how big she is. This is blue-eyed leucistic. She is one of my most beautiful snakes. Not kinked in the neck. Not kinked. I actually have another one too up in my hatchling rack that's not kinked. But yeah, this guy is beautiful. You know, kind of the interesting thing about this one too is usually when I go to feed snakes, I'll like dangle the rat in the tub and kind of wait for him to snap it. And if they don't snap it, sometimes I'll actually lay it in the tub for a little bit, which I'd say most of the times doesn't work. And on this particular snake, I can actually take the rat, put it right here on the side of her neck, right here, and she'll just kind of curl her head around and just snap it every single time. It's like I hang it there and then like dangle it and shake it. She won't take it unless I actually touch it to the side of her neck right there, and then she'll get it every time, which is kind of weird. It's my only snake where I have to actually touch the rat to the snake, which is pretty wild. All right, see if I can get this girl back up. She's got like a death grip on. She will not let go. Look at that. All right, girl. Come on, girl. Yeah, I guess I'm just growing out all my snakes right now is what I'm doing. Taking a break, growing them out. But yeah, All right, so another thing, someone at work, my new job, they apparently they lived with this guy who was big into snakes, and he moved out, left him a couple snakes. He had no idea what these snakes were. He's like, hey, you want a couple of ball pythons? That's all I knew, they were ball pythons. So I said, sure, I'll take them. So let me show you. I actually had them up in quarantine for about a month, and they've been down in my snake room for about 3 months now, I'd say. So they're definitely, they're fine, no problems at all. So no sickness. Thank goodness. I'm always like leery of bringing snakes in, but you know, he was like, didn't want them. So let me show you those snakes. All right, so let me know if you know what the gene is in this one. This one's easy, I think. Easy for most people. What do you think that is? Awesome spider web pattern. This guy, it's funny, I don't think the snake has ever been in a rack system with coconut husks, because as soon as I put him in there, his appetite just went through the roof. It was insane, and he just eats every single time. He eats pretty big rats too. So he's pretty skinny when I got him, but he's pretty chunky. Obviously, this is a spider. And it's a male spider. Could be other genes in the mix. I don't know. For a spider, very good head. Really no wobble. Seems a little bit lighter than a normal spider, maybe. Maybe a little bit more reduced, maybe like an inchy spider. I don't know. Maybe just a spider. Maybe just a spider. That's what the belly looks like. Nothing unusual there. Nothing like confusion or anything on the belly. So let me show you the other snake. Okay, so this is the other free snake I got from the guy at work. I don't think I have this gene in my collection. I'm thinking Mojave. That's my guess. What do you think this is? What do you think? I think it's Mojave, which is in the blue-eyed leucistic complex, so I could breed this to a bamboo. This is a female, and I could get blue-eyed leucistics. I don't know if anything else is in here. Belly is pretty clear. But yeah, it looks like just like a, kind of has green eyes, which is interesting. Kind of an interesting stripe right down there. But it just looks like a, to me it looks like a Mojave. Let me know what you think. Alright, so here's another snake. I had to crawl underneath the table to get it. Take a look at this beauty. One of my hatchlings from last year. Beautiful snake, beautiful. I've been trying to make one of these for a long time. This is actually a pinstripe pied with fire in it. It's a fire pin pied, and it has a paradox somewhere. A little bit right here. The paradox is kind of faded. Wow. Used to be a little bit more pronounced right there. Wow. So it's a pin-pied paradox. Pin-pied paradox with one eye. Take a look at that. One eye is gone from birth. How wild is that? So this guy, when I give him the mouse or the rat, I have to put it on his good side so he can actually see it. But he's a good looking snake. Look at that. So I had a guy who wanted to buy this, he said maybe next year. He's bought quite a few of my snakes. I said, I guess I'll hold it for you. So I'm not even sure what I'd sell it for. Oh, here's more paradox over here. So on this, right on the side of his neck, right here, you can see. He's got a lot of paradox right around his neck. Yeah. This guy eats unbelievably well for a pied, which is amazing. Usually my pieds are really stubborn. This guy eats every time. It's just pretty awesome. All right, here's another project I've been working on. Finally hit it last year. No, the year before. It had to be, wait a minute, it must have been 2 years ago. But look at how big she is. It must have been, I don't know when I produced this. It must have been 2 years ago. I don't know if this one's 2 years old. Hold on. Yeah, 21. This is from 21. 2-year-old female. Look at that beast for 2 years old. She pounds the rats. She eats every single time. Look at how fat she is. This is actually a female banana pinstripe. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, the banana actually came from my banana, banana clown. That's where that came from. So this is het clown. Yeah, het clown. Possible pastel. All right. I don't even know what I was holding here. So this is a banana pinstripe het clown. Possible pastel. Ready to breed. Stuck in a shed. Look at that. But she will be a female maker. So all the bananas that she produces will be females. And I actually went through my records. All my non-male maker or female maker bananas were actually the opposite sex. So this one will produce all females. All the bananas will be females. All the non-bananas will be males. 99% of the time. 99%. So obviously I made this from a male maker, which is pretty cool. So you can actually flip once in a while, which is pretty awesome. Look at how big she is. She's a beauty. I can't wait to breed her. All right, so maybe I'll end on this one. This is you may have remembered my video. I think I paid like $1,500 for this guy. This is actually a banana clown, and they're definitely not $1,500 now. This is actually a male maker, and this is the one that produced that one. So this is the male, and look at how beautiful he is. It's kind of interesting because when he was young, he had really high contrast, really super high contrast. You can actually look back on one of my videos and look at how much he's faded, almost completely faded out. Almost looks like a champagne now, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, he's been a good breeder. He's a male, he's pretty small. This is one of my, I think I bought him several years ago, so yeah, I haven't really been feeding him that much. He's been on a fast too lately. He's looking pretty good for being on a fast. But yeah. All right, let me get Bobby out for the ending. All right, so just to give you a size comparison, holding him up, that's Bobby. Look at how big he is. Compared to the other snakes, he is a monster. He is 10 years old now, born in 2013. He's produced many, many, many clutches. Believe it or not, for a straight bamboo, back when I bought him, I paid $1,500 for Bobby. $1,500 for a straight bamboo male, which is kind of crazy. But he's definitely paid for himself. And I just love the bamboo. I think because it looks really close to a spider, almost exactly like a spider, except you don't have any of the head wobble. And it's in the blue-eyed leucistic, so you get white snakes if you breed it to something in the blue-eyed leucistic like Mojave, Lesser, Phantom, crystals. Well, the crystals is actually a combination too, so pretty cool snake. Bobby's doing good. No problems at all with Bobby. All right, so that's pretty much the update. I don't know when I'm going to give you another video. Maybe I'll do one a week. Maybe I'll just do something quick. You know what I might do for the next few videos is actually maybe do snakes for sale. I actually have some pastels, some normals, I have some pinstripes, just some single genes, simple stuff from last year that I definitely don't need to hold back, all that stuff. I kind of showed you kind of the cream of the crop as far as everything I got here. Of course, Bobby is the star of the show here. Let me see if you can take a look at Bobby's face here. He's doing great. Still hanging in there. Probably live longer than I will, which is pretty crazy. All right, so that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.